Where can you buy a home for under $1 million in Toronto? Narcity released an article this week outlining where you can buy a detached house for under $1 million in the city of Toronto. And that got me to thinking, where can you purchase each individual asset class for under $1 million? And the reason the focus is always on $1 million as the threshold is because when you purchase a home for under $1 million, you do not need 20% down. So in this video, we are going to take a look at where you can actually purchase a detached, semi, townhouse, and a condo apartment in the city of Toronto for under $1 million. I'm actually going to show you example properties which have sold in the past 30 days to back up this video. Unfortunately, when articles are released about pricing of Toronto real estate, they often focus on the MLS list price instead of the sold price. We all know that the MLS list price is not often exactly what the property ends up selling for. It could be listed over market value and sell for under the list price, or it could be listed way below market value, set up for a bidding war, and could sell well beyond the list price. Essentially, just because a home is listed for $999,000 does not mean it's worth $999,000, or it could be bought for that price. This is why we're going to focus on the actual sold prices of real properties. Before we get into that, my name is Macallum and I'm a real estate agent in the city of Toronto. And if you learn anything from this video, if you could click both the like and subscribe buttons, I would greatly appreciate it. My goal is to hit 500 subscribers by the end of 2023, and we are well on our way. And if you'd like to book a one-on-one call with me, you can go to the first link in the description of this video to book a meeting directly into my calendar at a time that works best for you. Everyone seems to have a different opinion of the exact location of the city of Toronto. But from the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board's standpoint, the city of Toronto has the borders of Steeles at the north, Rouge River on the east, Lake Ontario to the south, and the Etobicoke Creek to the west. So that's the area we're going to be focusing on specifically today. And within the city of Toronto, we have different codes for different neighborhoods. So on the west side of the city, which is Mimico, Etobicoke, Jane and Finch, Rexdale, etc., are all coded as W. And then we have the central core of Toronto, which is coded as C. So CO1 and CO8 being the downtown core. CO7 and C14 being Willowdale in North York, CO9 being Rosedale, etc. And then we have the east side of Toronto, which is coded as E, encompassing areas like Leslieville, the Beaches, East York, and Scarborough. As everyone knows, location plays a major role in the value of real estate. Most freehold properties which sell for under $1 million tend to be towards W04, 05, and 10, and towards Scarborough on the east side of the city. And very rarely do we see freehold properties in the central core of Toronto selling for under $1 million. I want to make this super clear that we are only going to be looking at livable properties. So we will not be using vacant land or uninhabitable homes for this video. Let's start off with where detached homes are selling for under $1 million in Toronto. And as you can see, most of the sales are occurring towards the west side and the east side of the city. I'm not going to share the property addresses in this video, but there was a detached bungalow in Birchcliff, which is just to the east of the Beaches. And this detached bungalow with 2 bedrooms plus 1 in the basement, 2 bathrooms, 1 car parking, a 34 by 142 foot lot, ended up selling for a price tag of $949,000. Now, if this property had a second story or was slightly larger and had a third or potential for a 4th bedroom, then it would not have sold for under $1 million. One of the main reasons this property sold for $949,000 was because of the fact that it had 2 bedrooms instead of the traditional 3 bedrooms. And we see a very similar trend in terms of location for semi-detached home sales. Most of the semis which have sold in August happened towards the west and east sides of the city, not the central part of Toronto. There was, however, one home I found just to the east of the central core of Toronto, which sold this month for $965,000. It was a semi-detached with 3 bedrooms upstairs and 1 in the basement, 2 bedrooms, 3 parking spots, and a 31 by 118 foot lot, and it was in a very livable and somewhat renovated condition. Although you would expect to see more townhouses sold on this map, you're not, because there are fewer townhouses than semis and detached homes in the city of Toronto. Again, the townhouse sales are concentrated towards the east side of Toronto. There was, however, a sale which occurred this month located just north of High Park in the Junction. Now, this condo townhouse was brand new, had 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a 12 by 36 foot lot, 1 car parking, and sold for $990,000. As you can tell by the lot size being 12 by 36 feet, this home did not have a backyard. Rather, it had a rooftop terrace. And things get really interesting when we take a look at condo apartment sales under $1 million. Condos which have sold this month for under $1 million are scattered throughout the entire city with a focus on the downtown core. The condos you see here are studios, 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. Since this video is all about properties selling under $1 million, I'm pushing the envelope with this particular example because it sold for $980,000 right downtown. Now, this property is a new building. The unit has 3 bedrooms plus a den, 2 bathrooms, 2 parking spots, and it's between 900 and 1,000 square feet. This home type is not overly common. In fact, when a developer builds a condo, they build far more 1 and 2 bedrooms compared to 3 bedrooms. The overall takeaway here is that there are still great properties in the city of Toronto which are valued at under $1 million, but they are located further from the central core of Toronto. When searching for real estate, it's all about balancing the home features, the property type, and the location. A buyer with $1 million budget could purchase a not recently renovated 2-bedroom detached bungalow in Scarborough, or they could purchase a recently developed 2 to 3 bedroom condo in the central core of the city. If you'd like a list of the condos, townhouses, semis, and detached homes which have sold for under $1 million, then let me know in the comments section and I can send them to you.